Ever had that big business idea, but then the whole setting up a limited company thing just sounds, well, a little intimidating? Guess what? It is way easier than you think. In the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down with a super simple step-by-step roadmap. Let's dive in.
Okay, so here's our game plan. It's got 5 main parts. We'll start with the why, as in, why even bother with a limited company? Then, we've got a pre-launch checklist, so you're all set. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of making it official, what happens after you're all set up, and finally, we'll hit the big 2. How much does it cost, and how fast can you do it? Simple as that.
All right, first things first. Let's tackle the big one. Why would you even choose to set up a limited company? Is it actually worth the effort? The short answer? Yes. And it's because there are some really powerful perks that can protect you and give your new business a serious boost right from the get-go. So yeah, why go limited? What's the big deal? Well, there's a very good reason that this is the structure that so many entrepreneurs in the UK choose. It really boils down to a handful of benefits that are honestly total game changers. Okay, so let's unpack these. The number one reason, the big one, is protection for your personal stuff, and we'll talk more about that in just a sec. But it's not just that. You also get this instant credibility boost, you can be more tax efficient, and it makes it way easier to get investors on board. It's like a whole package of perks designed to set you up for success. Right. I want you to really pay attention to this one because this is the absolute biggest reason people do this. It's all about limited liability. Now, what that means is if the company runs into debt, your personal assets, we're talking your house, your car, your savings, they're safe. They're separate. The company is responsible for its own debts, not you personally. That peace of mind, that safety net, that alone is worth its weight in gold. Okay, so the benefits are pretty compelling, right? But hold on. Before you rush off to register, there are a few things we need to sort out first. Think of it as our pre-launch checklist, getting all our ducks in a row. So, the first decision you've got to make. What kind of limited company are you setting up? Now, for 99% of you who are starting a regular for-profit business, you're going to choose limited by shares. Simple. But if you're starting, say, a nonprofit or a charity, you'd go for limited by guarantee. It's a key distinction, so it's good to know which one fits you right from the start. You know, a company is more than just a name on a form. It needs people to run it. So your next job is to figure out who's going to be in charge. There are a few key roles that you absolutely have to, fill. First up, you need a director. Every single company has to have at least one. This is the person or people who are legally on the hook for the day-to-day running of the business. You know, making sure all the rules are followed, the paperwork gets filed, and yeah, most of the time, that's going to be you. Then you need a shareholder. Think of the shareholder as the owner. Their slice of the company pie is represented by shares. Again, you need at least one. And for most new startups, it's super common for the director and the main shareholder to be the exact same person. So you can totally wear both hats. All right, next up is a term that sounds a bit official, person of significant control, or PSC. You'll see that acronym pop up. Don't let it scare you. It just means anyone who owns more than 25% of the shares or has more than 25% of the voting rights. It's all about being transparent so everyone knows who the major players are in the company. Okay, now for the fun bit, picking a name for your company. But you guessed it, there are a few rules. The big one is that it has to be unique. So your first stop should be the Companies House online register to see if your name's taken. It also has to end with limited, or the abbreviation LTD. And, common sense here, but you can't use sensitive or offensive words, or anything that makes it sound like you're connected to the government when you're not. So, you've got your checklist ticked off, you are ready for the main event. This is the moment your amazing idea transforms into an actual, official, legal business. Let's walk through exactly how to do it. The actual registration process is surprisingly simple. It's really just 4 steps. First, you need a couple of documents that are basically the company's rulebook. But don't sweat it, they provide standard templates online. Second, you just need an official address for the company. Third, you hop online to Companies House to register, and you'll pick something called an SIC code. It's just a number that tells them what industry you're in. And then, bam! Step 4, you get your certificate of incorporation. You're officially in business. And just like that, you're incorporated. How cool is that? Congratulations. But, okay, the journey doesn't quite end there. Being a director means you have some ongoing legal duties you've got to stay on top of, right from the very beginning. So as soon as you're official, there are a few things to do right away. First, you've got 3 months to let HMRC know you're here by registering for corporation tax. Next, and this is super important, open a separate business bank account. Seriously, do not mix your personal and business money. If you're going to pay anyone a salary, even if it's just you need to set up payroll. And finally, just keep an eye on how much money you're making, because at some point, you might need to register for that.
And then there's the stuff you do every year. Think of it as your annual business MOT. You'll have to file your accounts and something called a confirmation statement with Companies House. You'll also submit your tax return to HMRC. And of course, you need to keep all your company records in order. It sounds like a lot, but it just becomes the normal rhythm of running a proper business. Okay, that brings us to the final stop on our roadmap. And let's be honest, these are probably the two questions you've been wanting to ask from the very beginning. How much will this set me back? And how long is it all going to take?
So, the cost. You might be surprised. It's probably a lot less than you think. If you go directly to the Companies House website and do it online, the official fee is just £100. Yep, that's it. Now, sure, you could pay a bit more to file by post or use a formation agent if you want some extra hand-holding, but for most people, doing it online is by far the cheapest and fastest way to go.
And what about the time it takes? Okay, this is the really amazing part. When you register online, your company can be officially formed in as little as 24 hours. No, that is not a typo. You can literally go from having an idea in the morning to owning a legally registered company by the next day. The system is just incredibly fast. And there you have it, the complete roadmap, from a simple idea all the way to a fully incorporated company. As you can see, the process is straightforward, the cost is really low, and it happens incredibly fast. So, your business is now official. The foundation is laid. The only real question left is, what are you going to build first?
If you are looking for professional guidance, give us a call today. Sit back and relax while we do all the complicated work for you.